Okay, today I'm gonna give you this Anuvaad metrics, Anuvaad analytics parts, which I have done. Okay, I think probably you might have seen the code. I mean, it's straightforward and easy to understand also. So nonetheless, I'll give you the kitty what I have done in this. So okay, initially, why Anuvaad analytics came into picture was so that there came where the which one? The users in the sense of the high court people they needed uh, what the statistics of per organization based how many documents they have been completing and what's the analytics I mean with particular to what sentences they have been saving and what exactly they've been up to I mean they just needed the count and the graphs. For that particular reason I have written this small microservice where they can view whatever however the documents which have been uploaded with respect to languages, how many documents which it has verified per language based, per organization based also, and how many sentences they have verified, and what is the total count of documents which per organization have uploaded and which is completed. So till now in production, we have got something around 28,000 documents which is uploaded by multiple organizations with respect to multiple organizations. The High Court or Supreme Court of whatever the guys which they're using and working on. Okay, let's get into the code. So this is just a basic Flask application where you need so where I'll be retrieving the data from content handler. Okay, so let me just where have I in the resources db retrieval.py just commented this. Here I have given multiple APIs. One is with respect to Anuvaad the data, which fetches the uh, document from the MongoDB and it gives you the data. I think we need to focus on only this one API. So the rest of the APIs are I'll get back to later for language counts. These are just the statistics data which being used in Anuvaad as of now. Whatever the statistics we are seeing here, it's coming from either of these APIs. Okay. So let's get into this API, this Anuvaad data. So API prefix will be like Anuvaad metrics. Okay. So we need MongoDB for accessing MongoDB clusters, uh, workflow manager for workflow manager DB for getting the workflow jobs, and pre-processing for the content handler DB. So I have set a cron where it runs 4 times. You can change it to irrespective of either of the times. So this cron particularly runs for 4 times in a day, 6 p.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m., 6 a.m. and 12 a.m. respectively. So specifically, I'm saving with respect to two copies. One is with respect to language-wise JOD stats 1 and stats 2. Stats 1, where I'll get all the documents. Let me show you the documents of, let me show the CSV of uh, the JOD. So I'll see why exactly I'm doing this approach. Okay, JOD, not this one. Stats 1. Stats 2. If you open this CSV file, by the way, you can see my screen, right? Dheeraj or Ratan, can you
Yeah,
confirm?
we can see the screen.
Sure. Okay. So in this, I'll be retrieving with respect to the user ID, user name, name, if the user is active or not, and which organization does the user belong, and the job ID number for which the job is which he has done, and when it has been created, source and target language, how many sentences are there in that particular document, and what is the time taken. Okay, these are the information which will be present in the stats1 file. Okay, and in stats2 we'll have the same number of we'll be having less number of files with respect to the documents which are being saved. In the sense, the documents which user is being verifying. If the sentences are being saved, or if the document is, the user is changing the sentences, and how many sentences he has saved. So those analytics count I'm updating in here with respect to that same job ID. Okay, let's get back to that API. So in the config itself, I verified couple of things, and email notifier. Currently, I'm just assigning mine and Apurva's email. Okay, it's a naive approach. You can verify to other users and NLP NMP. Okay, so and I'm also setting a SMTP. Email settings. Email settings should go in this particular config file, and as well as the language mapping. How many languages are there in Anuvaad, or whatever the languages are there. Statically, I'm getting it from the language count API. Okay. Do not worry about this backup files. We'll remove them. So when developing, I used to take a backup and show the analytics part. So and this template looks like this. This is just a naive template saying that okay, if the statistics is there, if the file is there or not, if the file is not there, just for that sake. And next. Coming up back to the API Anuvaad data. Here I will be specifying these CSV files in this sense. So I'll take if the file is, I'll just specify these CSV files which is there in the. Okay, wait. These are the first of process. Please, okay, we need to remove these things. I have not removed. Let's get into configs. Okay, this configs, if you are passing in the file configs as stats as true, there is function called get trans user data from db weekly cron. So it will directly go to this cron.py file, where this is the same functionality as the scheduler job is running. So by the way, this is a scheduler job in the resource folder itself, where this scheduler job, in the sense, we are running via cron. So I am using one library called APS scheduler. So this particular package has the accessibility to run the crons on a daily basis, or a weekly, monthly basis, or yearly basis, or in the background, or run only cron one time, or run as a scheduling job. uh, we have some 2 to 3 kind of times. If you just check out the documentations of APS scheduler, you might get to know. Scheduler Python. So this is the package which I'm using for adding for crons and rest of the things. Okay. So what does this particular functionality or the cron do means? So email notifier already specified. I'll just assign as variables. So weekly cron 1 and cron 2 are the two files which is required to show me the, which is required specifically CSV files for showing of the data. Okay, first I'll check if the existing file is there or not. If the file is there, I'll completely remove the, I will delete the file again, and I'll run the cron. So what it will do is, it will go get the user activity from the UMS table. So it will just get all the users from the database, and it will just show the user activity table. Let's get back to that cron. Okay, this will get the user data. If there is no file, the email will be generated, could not get the data found, and the email will be notified, where in IO approval will be getting this email alerts. Okay, so we can, you can modify and change this as ever, as whatever you require. Okay, for now I've just kept it as naive approach. First I'll get the active users list. Okay, then I will be sending this users list into get the documents from content handler folder. So like in content handler, if you see, let me log in. So this is pre-processing DB, and in that file content is the collection name. So if you see, you will have this a number of data. So where who has created this particular job and who has done this job, etc. Things and informations are there. So we need to collect all this information and show it in the analytics board. So first what I'll do, I'll get all the user activity list. Then next, I'll there is a time frame where start date and end time are being captured. So statically, I'm capturing from some, just say like 2000 and January 1 and 1. Just statically I've kept it because Anuvaad has started 5 years back, and just statically I've kept this date, and we will be retrieving the data till date. Till date in the sense, whatever it's the data is being generated up to now, I will be specifying this date time range from date and end date. Okay, these parameters you can configurably specify if you are required. Else you can bring out all the data. Okay, from start date and end date from analytics. So this particular function, what it will do, it will just grab whatever from the start date, the jobs are being done to till date, whatever the time it has given. Okay, next, I schedule job.py. Next, we will do two fetches from MongoDB. This will be fetching from content handler. Okay, so wherein I'm not calling any internal APIs for content handler, I'm directly calling the content handler DBs. Okay, wherein I match the particular data type. I need only text blocks here. I don't need any data type saying line or images or anything. All the texts are present in text blocks. So I need only this particular data and the time frame where it is created from, and what is the end time date. Okay, in that I'll unwind the tokenization sentence array, wherein I'll group the job ID uh, when it has been created and who has been created, and source target language, and some of the count of this particular text blocks. How many document sentences are there in this particular text block? I mean, in the text block in the sense in that particular document, and what's the total time spent? Some of the okay, I think there's some mistake. This should not be some. The tokenized sentence time spent should be. I think it's a sum only. Sum of it should not. It should be some. It should be equivalent to average. I think we can change it on. For now, we are not using any total time spent. Are not showing anywhere else. You can change the query moving forward. Okay. So after that, I'll get this particular content handler data from whole DB. Next, there is one more we will call save docs, where again it will fetch the content, the same structure, or I mean the same pattern. Here only changes are, will unwind the tokenization sentence, then match with respect to this particular key where the save is to be true. This save will happen when only when a user is changing a sentence of his respect only. A user is changing sentence of his respect in the sense user wants to change the sentence in Anuvaad, and he has a privilege to change that. When he changes that, this particular save will be variable will be inserted into that particular text blocks, and content handler DB. So we will retrieve all these save sentence to, I mean, whichever the text blocks which have been true, we'll retrieve only those jobs. So for that, we will group that particular job and again created by source and target language. Here we don't require the document sentence count. Why? Because we are only retrieving the number of text blocks which has been verified. So the document sentence will vary with respect to the sentence count. Sentence verified maybe if there is a in a document, let's say like we have 10 sentences and the user has verified only 5 sentences. When I'm retrieving from MongoDB, it will vary. When you're giving only this particular you're matching only this particular save to true, you'll get only this particular data, and if you are showing any document count with respect to this data, it will be, I mean, it's like a false kind of a data. So that's why we need to run twice these two lines, one with respect to all the data being all the jobs, and another one with respect to only jobs which the user is being is verifying or saving the sentences. So why I am storing in two CSV file is where, see, a user can come and verify sentences, or he won't do the sentence verification at all, wherein you won't get how many sentences he has verified, or you want to be able to see what he's been doing. He has just uploaded and he has just left it out, and the machine translation is completed as such. So when user is verifying, so we will get the count, wherein if the save is true, so we will get the average blue score time and the number of save sentences also for that particular job ID. So for that only reason, so I am running this piece of queries twice. So wherein this particular ch doc will be saved for, I'll be converting into a, pandas data frame, and I will be replacing with respect to the user ID. Say like this query has been done, I got the data. After getting the data, I'll create a pandas data frame using JSON normalize. So pandas can support JSON formats also, and I'll reset the index patterns. Okay. So wherever it is created by, I'll replace it by user ID, because in the first place itself, I have got this user active and inactive. Okay. So why I'm doing this approach, I mean, merging all these user in this place is, so when done this particular approach, say like you have a 25,000 documents, I mean 25,000 of documents, and you have millions together of a text blocks. When you're looping for one user, this was taking a hell lot of a time, like say like 20 to 30 minutes to get this particular CSV. That was one major blocker, or I can say a bug, which I have identified and I have rectified it. So the next approach what I have used is here is using pandas. I'm merging all the whatever the user have got and created by. I'll match those things and I'll merge it to that particular pandas data frame, and I'll just ready to a CSV file, where wherein if any users clicks on the analytics tab, instantly this particular data should pop up in front of him. So it should not like go to DB and again do a scan and get that particular job again and again and again. So for only that particular reason, I'm just writing to a CSV file. So here I don't have any kind of a observability. Say like if you take an example of Ulka, you have Druid for analytics. You're updating the data in Druid, and Druid can able to lively locate these data tracks and update it with respectively. But in Anuvaad, as it's been open source, and due to we can't add any Druid as per the approvals, so I'm not adding anything. I'm just using a naive way and writing into a CSV file. Okay. Same way goes to two files. One is with respect to all the documents, where you'll be getting all the job IDs. So another document where the user is saving the sentences for the particular job ID. Even if one for that particular job, even one sentence is being saved, that the particular job will be coming under this particular CSV also. Say like I'm calling it as weekly cron 1 and weekly cron 2. Since I had written a buggy code in the previous version in the loop, it was taking 20 to 30 minutes. So that's why I had written two crons where weekly cron 1 and daily cron ones were being added, where I will be updating the duplicate file weeklies, and I will be updating the daily crons with respect to the latest data. So I mean, it doesn't suit the way what the current version is. You might wanna rename these variables or the names whatever I have given. Okay, in the future perspective. So this is done. The CSV is being saved and data will be written. Now, so each and every time when a cron calls, so it will take around 2 to 3 minutes to scan the DB and get the data, get the analytics into this particular the CSV formats, whichever I have shown you. Okay, this is the same thing. So in case something went wrong on the I mean, if a user or any of your project teammates needs to be need to get that particular analytics on spot, I have written one more thing. I mean, the same uh, particular functionality, the same thing is written here, wherein you can call manually this particular stats. If you call it, it will take 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and it will update the stats and it will update this. So this stats will be updated and the file will be updated. So next, I think uh, the from line number 61 to this one 77, we can remove it. I don't think this is required. I'll show you the buggy logic which I have written. It's still there. Say like in the parameter, if I pass this config in the keys in the body and I get the date frame. So you see here in this particular section, I'm using user docs, wherein I get the user roles. Uh, if body has org or if the body has a user role, I'll get the role and org wise. So where in sometimes back, uh, Karthik used to ask me for this particular high courts or particular organization, get me the statistics. So what I was doing is, so I used to make a config here and get the data for only that particular organization, only one organization. So not all the multiple organizations. So if you pass that particular key here, so based on that, it will go to the same content handler folder, and it will get the particular who has created the user. It will get a job, document count, and total time spent. Only just a small number of data, but this is a buggy code. Why is that? Because see, when a user is created, say like 300 users are there, and when it is created, so each and every time when I'm calling this particular content handler API for that particular user, the MongoDB scan rate will be too high. It will scan all the DB, and if the particular data is present, then only it will return. So the time taken will be equivalent to what the time taken for all the organization will be same only. It will be around 20 to 30 minutes. This is a buggy code. I still have not taken it off of this particular folder. So yeah, in the coming days, you probably remove all these buggy codes. It's unnecessary lines. So currently what I'm doing is, as this is a time consuming process, I have made it as a threading process, where I just call the API. In the background, the API will run in a thread and it will start the process. Let's say like if I want the immediate stats, you need to update the stats immediately. I'll just say that I'll just call this functionality in the postman, saying that I'll just call the stats where it is matrix API. Why my huh, not this one. No, this one. Just call in configs, call it as stats. So it will check for that value and it will just run this particular cron. And also I'm updating on a weekly basis. I mean, there is this functionality called remove and copy, where this will remove the duplicate one. A duplicate one in the sense, which one? Yeah, daily cron. I mean, whatever the name I'm given, please rename these variables. It's not suitable. So I'll be removing these particular files and updating it just for a backup purpose. Okay, not more than that. So initially we'll be using the language wise stats1 and stats2 for showing the analytics. So how exactly are we showing that? So remove functionality also, it will remove the daily cron and it will just copy the stats file, whatever the weekly cron which I'm getting it from, which is already done. It will just copy that. If the file is not there, it will just say that its file is not there and we can view it in the logs. As this is a threading process, I mean, sudden response won't be happening directly. That can be viewed in Kibana. Okay, this is what the cron will do. Now let's get back to the API part. So this particular language, we need the language. For which one, if we go to this particular thing, let's say like I want to see the verified documents for per language based. Currently, I have given all in the sense all the language based the count, total sentence count for the Hindi and verified count which user has verified. If I want to select only per organization, which let's take like Karnataka. So they have done Kannada, English, Hindi, Gujarati, and Sanskrit. Select Kannada. Verified count is some, I think something around 23K, and total sentence count which they have done till date is 81K. That's all. Same way it goes to how many languages which this High Court has done. How I'm doing a pandas operation here, obviously. Okay. How in the sense this uh, language count. Okay, once again, refresh. First, languages will be shown. So this languages API is something, but it will just call the static. I mean, just call the static API where there is a JSON language JSON code. So for labeling purpose, the UI needed all these things. I have only code based. So if there is any code like this, it will just replace it and we'll get the language codes. Okay. For that particular reason, for drop down reason, this language API is there. And next, come here. Language count, where is it? Doc count. Let's get back to language count. Uh, do not worry about this environment in the body. It was specifically for uh, uh, users in JOD environment. So we need to remove this thing also. So currently, it's everything is a post request based. First, it will do a file validation. So we want to so just remove this line. That's all. It's not required. It's not in use also. Okay. So before that, so status is not required. File validation. Language count. Payload. Source language is English. Source language is okay. This is where you are seeing the language count. So language count means so when you have to specify a source language. So per source language based, how many documents have been done in SUAS application? It will show the analytics of that. For source document English, let's say like source document English and the target document will be Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, etc. languages. So these are the analytics where it will show for source language. Let's take like Kannada to English. Less than how many? 697. Sorry, guys, just give me a moment. Hello.
Yes, you're audible.
Sorry for the disturbance, guys.
No problem. Sir.
Let's get to the API language code. First, file validation will happen. In this particular file validation, so I need the file names. So this file, these two files will be saving in the shared drive itself. Okay, physical shared drive, which FSX is there, no? Physics or the Samba, it will be saved there. So from there only, I'll be getting this file and I'll be showing the analytics part. So first, I'll initialize my file names into this file validation. So we should have file validations. So if file is not there, it will directly say that files are monitored and file is not found. So if the files are not present, so if that is exist, so I'll be doing a pandas operation here. Okay. So currently what I'll be doing, I'll just uh, drop the particular org IDs. So and sort values with respect to org IDs. If there is any null organization, there is no organization or null organization. So I'll just drop out because I don't want those data to be in place. Next, I'll sort the values with respect to the DF what I have got with respect to the org IDs which are present. So currently I'm asking some of the organization, this is whole and solely with for JUD purpose. This is not for users, developers or edu purpose. Okay. You can comment out this particular mask logic and you can move it forward. Okay. If the stats are present, just make a mask. Okay. And move it forward. And okay, sorry, wait, stats is only one file. Okay, don't bother about this stats copy file. Okay, just move on to this else loop. Even that file is not necessary and not needed. First, we will read both files, df and df1. I want to specify all the null values to nan. Okay, I'll replace all the null values to nan. Then I'll drop all the uh, access one to uh, wherever it is null. I'll just drop it out and replace those nans in all both the DFs. Okay, and next in the result with respect to the org ID, whatever I showed you now, the null values, I'll be taking only those things. In the result, I'll just merge the DF1 and DF indicating to whole merge wherein I need say like if it, if a document has uh, multiple things like so in file 2 CSV you will be having saved counts, where in file 1 you won't be having saved counts, and in file 1 some of the job IDs won't be having saved counts and blue score values, so it should be shown as null only. For that particular purpose I'll be using pandas merge operation and push it over. Next, this file validation is true and masking is true, and this will create one pandas data frame. Then file validation is done. So it says that status will be always true there. Okay, I'll be sending a true value. If that is true, if that is false means it will just return false, saying that it's not proper. I mean, whatever the error it's been there. Else it will come to total document verification. What? Hello? Do you have any doubts?
No, sorry, nothing on my end. No questions as of now, Sherry. No questions.
Oh, sure then, sure then. Afterwards, I'll get this particular stats right. I'll just go with respect to the pandas operation, wherein in body I will in payload you will be specifying with respect to language codes. If you can see, if there is, I got the specification of en. What I'll do, so I'll take the particular language code, I'll group by pandas group by source language code. I got that but whole data frame of whole whatever it's the data I've shown in the CSV file. I'll group by that particular language code and I'll say that if there is any none values are there, if there is any empty strings are there, I'll just omit it. Else, I'll just say that okay, there is none. I mean, if the source language of the given particular source language code in the body has empty in all the particular CSV file, I'll just return out this these values. I mean, these keys saying that okay, there is none and uh, everything is 000. Else, I would do the group by operation of particular source value and aggregate with respect to the target and get the count, total of document count, total sentence count, sum of sentence count, verified sentences, saved sentence count is the name, and the sum will be summing the saved sentences. What is the org ID? The first name of the org ID I'll take source language, first name of the source language if there is multiple, target also same. Then I'll just form a dictionary operation, and I need to show all the multiple sums here. Okay, if you can see, there is a total count of 697. I need to show that also. For that particular reason, I'll just say sum of document sentence count NC and a verified sentence count for this particular given source language. So wherein then I'll do the language mapping. So this comes under language mapping section where I have only language codes here. For UI purpose to show, I need to map these languages to specific language, I mean language names to show in the UI purpose. So for that particular reason, I will be showing this language. Where it is now. This language mapping for that particular source language and target language, and I'll just return the total documents and total document sentence count, total verified sentence, and the dictionary of keys which it will be written. So wherein we'll be viewing, then I'll make the response as in the data total document sentence count with integer verified sentence code document language counts, whatever we are having in that particular case. If you see for this particular English language in the preview, we can see that for each and every languages, select Assam or with respect to the or English source language, target language, Assamese, what is the count I got. So per language based, and I've even assigned a org also here. So currently, I think org is also necessary. Why? Because we are using for multiple language based. English is source, Assamese will be the target, so it will be used by across multiple organizations. So we can show that also if it is required. And at last, I'll be collecting all, and I'll be showing the entire total document sentence count for particular English one only. So like I have initiated this Kannada. So I got this Kannada as this one. How many total documents? 697. Verified sentence 1064 and 36 something. This is with respect to language based. Okay. Now let's go on to the next API, which is for document count. Document count comes in where number of documents with respect to the organization based. So the same particular feature file validation will go file 1, file 2, and then again doc sentence. So this will work under a group by organization, aggregate with the sum, saved sentence, document sentence ID. Apart from that, so this is the document sentence preview. This is just a get API. We don't need to pass anything in the payload. So we'll get the document sentence count, total documents, total verified sentences, irrespective of the languages, whatever it's given. So with respect to the organization, we'll get all these things, and the UI will align it to with respect to the graph what it is given. So it's simple and straightforward. Just a pandas operation. And next we have another API called verified count. With this verified count is for how many sentences we have verified and how many sentences were there. So it's like this is also same thing. Whatever we are having, we are having the document count or language count. So just remove this particular thing, the post request. So this is for other environments I had written, so it's not in the use. So we'll just remove it. So okay, we'll just remove it. If the request is post method, this is a post method only. So just say like if org is all, I need to show all the sentence counts. So say like there is none here. There is a specifications called all in the dropdown. For all the languages, how much ever the sentences, total sentence count and verify sentence count will be shown here. For that, it's a separate function I've written, wherein I'll be grouping by target language. I won't take the source language because we need only the target language, wherein I will be summing the total document count, total sentence saved count, and document count for how many documents are there, and with respect to the target language. For that, I'll show everything the same pandas feature. And next comes, so with respect to particular language wise, particular language and high, sorry, language, I'm sorry, particular org wise. Say like, I'll take Karnataka. Let's say like it is Karnataka. Okay, let's take Karnataka. Karnataka has used some target language English, Kannada, and Kannada English or Hindi or other languages, and English, Hindi, English Gujarati, English Sanskrit. These four languages they have used. What they'll do, verify sentence by org. Here again, I'll be getting the org ID from the body. This is a post request, as I said. I'll be getting the request from the body as org, and then I'll verify all these none strings. If it is none, I'll send zero. If not, I'll just group by organization, uh, group by organization, and for that group by target language, and for that particular thing, I'll sum the doc count save sentence and respective etc things, and I'll just move it forward, and I'll map the same key mappings, and I'll just send it over to the analytics board, wherein I get the uh, what you can say the verified counts. So in the format where you'll get the verified counts. So total document sentence, okay, something, okay, I've shown it as, okay. Why Anuvaad is showing null in the sense, so currently JOD, I have masked the, in the file validation itself, when I have showed for some organization, I will be masking that particular region, means I want to be showing at all. In the sense, Karthik doesn't want us to show the development or the testing organization or any other non required branches, non-required organizations to be shown on the screen. That's why here, if you can see, Anuvaad is being what you can say, Anuvaad, the test organization, it will be marked as masked. So let's say like if there is an organization called, if there is Anuvaad organization, in the payload, it will be, everything will be null, 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 null. Okay. Apart from that, if you go to this data for this uh, all organization, you will get all the respective data. So if you are selecting only one organization, like say like Karnataka, you'll get that particular organization's count from that particular CSV, uh, whatever the data it holds at the time. Okay. So as of now, this is what the functionality or progress wise. So when the application has started, the cron will be registered initially and directly, and so it will just say like this particular function job is already stored, and it will start to run when, because it's a cron job, and it will trigger when the time comes where you have already set the time. So in the coming days, when you wanna update any other respective respective analytic counts, like say like a document count, it's in the pipeline, or in any other APIs or graph analytics to be shown, you can use this particular approach, or you can use any other DB approach wise, and you can call this and you can show them. So why I am storing and one more thing, why I'm storing in CSV file in the first place is to make the DB calls lesser. I can make every time a DB call and scan and get the analytics, but the time consumption is more in MongoDB rather than having in any other SQL or any other database. As it's a NoSQL and the pattern of our data storing structure is completely different, and it has too huge of. I'm so sorry, guys. I need to take this call, please. Okay, sorry for that disturbance, guys. Okay. Uh, for now, these are the okay only 3 to 4 APIs which I have written for analytics, and it's running and working as expected. So furthermore, whatever the changes is required, I think you guys need to do. I mean, if you find there is any other fine approach or a good approach to be handled on, you can carry on and you can implement that approach. And as well as whatever I have said, I mean, if you see unwanted functionalities or unwanted variables or queries which I have written, you can remove it and you can modify. It's of your use. Okay. I think whoever owns this particular feature probably needs to do one round of a refactor and uh, do it on. Okay. This service, it's actually in which one? Anuvaad, in Anuvaad folder, Anuvaad API folder, Anuvaad metrics, Anuvaad org judgment count under SRC, all this service, I mean, this particular service code has been added in GitHub. Okay, you can fork it out and you can work across. So if you want the dummy data of MongoDB to be handled on or carried on, I have those data. So if you want that, I can send it out. So furthermore, whatever it's been asked for, I mean, like further approaches are showing of the granularity and whichever the granularity wise, how many completed, how many in review, how many in progress. You can use the workflow manager collection, and you can get those data, and yeah, you can show all these things in one shot if everything is feasible. And also for that, if you want to add another cron also, you can add it in the scheduler jobs.py. Just write another function in the sense, just write a function and add this particular thing and assign a hours or minutes when it has to trigger, and at how many times it has to trigger. If you are giving in minutes for, let's say, like every 5 minutes or something, it will trigger for every 5 minutes. Just add it and remove it. Already schedule job has been started here, and when this is started, when the app.py is triggered, this also gets started, and uh, no need to add in anywhere in like just for safer side, I've just added in import file of app.py, wherein if this is imported, the schedule job, it will directly run and it will do the job. Okay, so internally it should run in anywhere. You're not adding in any of the app.py files also. Okay. So now I'm ready to take any questions if you have, so I can answer to that for this analytics topic.
No questions so far on my industry. I'll go through this and probably I might have questions over time.
Sure. Dheeraj, you have something?
Nothing.
Sure, then. I think we can conclude this KT call. If you have any doubts, just reach out to me. I'll be able to walk around with you guys.
Sure. Thanks, Sri.